What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today we're going to play a little Morigesh in the mid lane. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Healing Towers, Auto Shield, Experienced, Mana Fountain, Spell Shield, and lastly Overpowered spells for my gems. Now, for my cards, I have Advanced Evolution, Font of Experience, Mana Flow Acolyte, Astral Leap, Invader Mage, Power Tap, Atomic Soldier, Nameless Curse, Shadow Dancer, Awaken the Emeric, Corrosive Walker, and lastly, Plague Lord. Now, I definitely had to play a few games with Morigesh to get used to the nerf that she got. She got hit pretty hard with her E, which is Swarm, and it used to be a flat 8-second cooldown with a 40% movement speed increase, and now it's 11, 10, 9, and 8 with respective levels, and the movement speed increase is 28%, 32, 36, and then finally 40. So at rank 4, you're back to how it used to be, but, you know, I didn't really level up Swarm all that much because, you know, hey, you got it pretty well when, you know, at the old levels, you know, it was a pretty decent ability, but it definitely received a movement speed nerf, and you can feel it like crazy. So, you know, I had to play a few games, and I think I finally got used to it. Now, I am using that same old caster deck, which, you know, guys, this is a very solid caster deck, but instead of building that same way that I typically do, where I go into Shadow Dancer, and, you know, I'm just this invisible assassin, basically, I'm going to try to start off with Nameless Curse. Now, if you have not tried Nameless Curse on Morigesh, it's absolutely amazing, guys. You can basically hit someone with a Nameless Curse, you know, mark them, and then just walk away until they get low enough, and then ult them. It, you know, in a sense, it's almost broken. But it is a solid ability, or a solid card, and, you know, again, I'm kind of tired of playing that same old deck with the same, you know, way I build. So I'm just going to try to switch it up, and focusing Nameless Curse feels pretty solid, guys, and the damage that you get with everything like that, you know, I gotta say, big fan. Now, we are having a bit of an unusual match so far. Our solo lane is pretty much just the enemy phase, and they have some jungle rotation. The enemy Sparrow has been in mid lane a little bit, and she kind of rotates around quite a bit, but they're working fairly decently as a team. We're a 5-stack, and we're going against a 5-stack. So, you know, hey, we've got some pretty good team effort there, and, you know, it is unusual, but it does work in the beginning game. You know, it does kind of throw everybody off. Being in the mid lane, facing two enemies is something that I'm definitely not all that used to, but you can see by not pushing that lane, we're just kind of slow farming under our tower. We've done fairly well so far. We have got quite a bit of poke, and we ended up needing to back a little bit earlier than I would like. But again, that's quite all right. You know, by the ADC staying in the mid lane, that's actually hurting the caster. These are their two damage dealers that need to get fed, and by them stealing farm from one another, you know, neither one of them are getting fed, you know, hugely, and that's going to have a huge impact in that later stage of the game. So hopefully, you know, hopefully they keep it up. In my opinion, I would love for them to stay together, because that's just going to make my job a little easier later on. Now, I am using a ton of mana right here. You know, I'm just kind of trying to push this Gideon, trying to get him out of lane, and I've taken a ton of poke. You know, I do have that advanced evolution, so, you know, hopefully I can stay in lane a little longer. And you can see our Chimera is able to head in, get a little bit of damage on Gideon, and then we're able to take him out. Now, Sparrow is low, and I very well could push up and take her out, but I'm not going to, because, again, I don't want to push past the river for the first 10 minutes, you know, kind of the golden rule. And on top of that, I don't know where the enemy jungler is, things like that, so it's just not worth the risk. Since we did kill Gideon, I'm just going to head back to base, top off with mana and health, and then get back in lane. Now, I could have put on Mana Flow Acolyte because, you know, I did have enough points. And if I would have just waited around, I would have been able to keep Advanced Evolution. But I want to get back to lane because Sparrow did not leave. And I really don't want to take a whole lot of damage on my tower, especially since they have been, you know, two-manning my lane. So, you know, again, I just want to head over there, make sure we keep this damage to a minimum. And, you know, that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, their Sparrow did dip out, and, you know, they head over to our solo lane. So I kind of start heading that way, but I see my team's getting out, so there's no reason for me to stay there. Gideon heads to mid, and you can see he's low on mana, and he missed his rock. So, you know, we've definitely got a big advantage now being at full health and, you know, pretty full on mana. So I'm just going to kind of leave him for now, but if he does stay, we should be able to punish him severely. Now, while this pretty standard laning stuff is going on, I'm going to kind of talk about Nameless Curse. Now, I haven't seen a whole lot of people using Nameless Curse lately, and guys, this is a great card. Especially, you know, like I said earlier, with that Morigesh ultimate, you can hit it on a caster and just wait for them to tick down and, you know, finish them off with an ult. Or you can just use Nameless Caster to, you know, maybe hurt a front line, something like that. You know, we do use it on a Rampage a couple of times, and there's a couple of times in this match where we're going in on Rampage, but, you know, he's ulted, so we're not doing just the entire lot. But, you know, hey, that's quite alright. Now, you see here, I'm going in, I push in to get on Gideon, but that's slow. You can definitely see, you can no longer really catch up to somebody, hit him with the mark, hit him with the hive, hit him with another mark, back off and ult. That in that early stage of the game, you can no longer do that. So you have to play more like that range caster where you get your poke when you can instead of just doing that super burst damage. And, you know, that's definitely something that I am having to get used to because I've always played Morigesh very, very aggressive. And, again, with these new changes, you just cannot do that near as successfully. And as much as it pains me to say, I feel that these changes were good. I felt that Morigesh was very strong in the, you know, mid lane, you know, compared to some of the other casters. She just felt so strong with that super short cooldown. And, yeah, you could really, like, you see that Gideon, even though we have our very short cooldown, you know, we were still able to do a lot of damage. But if I was able to catch up to him and just continue, you know, basic attacking him, he wouldn't have got away. Now, he did just return back to lane, and we're able to just do so much damage to him. He's going to be forced to back, and if he doesn't, hey, I've got my ultimate, and with me throwing on a power card, I'm going to one-shot him. So, really, you know, she is very fast, but that run speed is just gone, guys, in the early stages. And, you know, I've said that a bunch already, but it definitely takes some getting used to. Now, once I spawn back in, I'm going to kind of push my lane. It's getting a little unsafe, so I'm going to head over to our solo lane, kind of help out our Sevarog. Now, I think I did say I was in a 5-stack earlier. I'm actually in a 4. I'm not in comms with our Sevarog. So, you know, he pinged, hey, I need some help, so that's what I went and did. And again, you can see I used my run fast to catch up to that Gideon, and you can see that run fast. That man, it's just not there anymore, guys. So it's going to take some getting used to, but, you know, hey, no problem. Now, Gideon did end up ulting our Chimera, and I'm going to head over there. I snagged that kill, and, you know, hey, great. We're able to take out Gideon. From here, we should be able to push into this tower pretty safely. But, you know, Rampage shows up, and this is what we have to be aware of. You know, this Rampage is... He can make these quick rotations, and with his CC and with that regen that he has, he's very tough to deal with, so going under tower is not always the best option. Unfortunately, Chimera went down there. You know, Chimera doesn't stand a chance if he's already at half health with an ulted Rampage. Unfortunately, he did go down, but hey, we're going to just hang out, get our lane set in the right direction, and kind of just continue our farm. We've been kind of dominating this mid lane, and even though we haven't had a whole lot of successful rotations yet, you know, hey, we're not doing too bad. Having that ADC and Gideon in the mid lane in the beginning of the match has really kind of thrown us off and not really freed us up to rotate near as much. Now, I do get 8 points here, which is what I've kind of been waiting for. I want to get Atomic Soldier online, But I'm going to start building Vitality because, like I said earlier, I want to put on Nameless Curse at the beginning. And, you know, so I go ahead, throw on that Atomic Soldier. I've definitely got a big damage spike compared to Gideon. You can see just with our mark, we were able to do quite a bit of damage to him. Chimera went and headed in. You know, he's able to secure Gideon. And that was actually a great play by our Chimera. You could see Gideon used that teleport, and Chimera was able to go, hey, you know, I'm going to go in. He doesn't have an escape anymore. Sure enough, he's able to take him out. Even if he did escape, you know, I've got my ult, so we would have taken him out. Easy peasy. But that's great. That was a great play by a Chimera. You know, good job, bud. And from here, I'm going to head to our solo lane. We make just incredible short work of that Sparrow. You can see that Arrg, his ultimate is so good, guys. You know, that displacement, you know, it's not really stun, but it stuns the hero for a good portion. And you can put them into tower like that, and, you know, you see the amount of damage a tower is able to do. And if you just have a little bit of support, you can capitalize on those kills, and that's exactly what we did. Now, here in mid lane, Gideon and Rampage both show up, so, you know, I need to be careful. I do have the power damage. You know, I am doing more damage than Gideon at the moment, but that doesn't mean I can take on both the Gideon and Rampage. But my Chimera shows up, and guys, this is one point that I would definitely like to show. Don't go in on an ulted Rampage. Just wait for him to, you know, get that ult off, and hey, you know, make very easy work of him after that. Now, their Rampage ended up hitting me with that rock, and we would have taken out Gideon at that point, but unfortunately, I had to use my run fast, but I just barely get enough mana to ult him. We're able to take him out, but I've got to get out. I cannot defend my tower. You know, our ADC, he's not really able to defend, and our Chimera ended up going down, which, you know, hey, that's unfortunate, but at the same time, you know, we did get another kill, so we're getting fed. We definitely need to counter push this lane. You know, our tower game is not very good at the moment. They're definitely dominating the tower game. And hopefully we can turn this around and actually start getting some of these objectives. Now, once I get my mid lane pushing, I'm going to head over to our duo lane. You know, FaZe is there by herself. So we're going to go ahead, head over there, take her out. I used that, you know, the snowball, whatever it's called. I used that to slow her down, and we're able to close that distance and, you know, wrap up a fairly easy kill. And then I need to head back to my lane because I didn't set that lane, guys. I just pushed it. So it's, you know, it's not going to take much to push back towards us, especially since my minions took damage from the enemy minions. It would naturally push against us. So, you know, I definitely have to head back to my lane. We just wanted to secure that kill. Now, Chimera did head to mid lane to help push this lane, and, you know, we cannot contest this at this time. Rampage having green, and then their enemy Gideon showing up. You know, we cannot, or Sparrow, we cannot contest that at all. We just need to back off. But one of the great things about that is, for whatever reason, Rampage decided to ult there. And so that's a huge team ult that, you know, he basically wasted because I think there's only like one minion there. So, hey, that's awesome for us. I'm going to go ahead and get my lane pushed into tower. Now, that whole enemy team broke off and went to that duo lane, and instead of actually going over there to contest and help out, I just tell my team, hey, y'all back up. You know, we don't need to get in a fight under their tower. Y'all back up. That's just not a good engagement for us. And sure enough, we're able to back up, and everybody survived. Now, Arrg is heading over to this mid lane, and I know that, so, you know, I'm, of course, going to head over there. We're able to take out this Rampage just very, very quickly. Now, I wanted to take him out, use my ult to take him out, just in case he had his ultimate back, which, you know, he did just use it, but I wanted to make sure we got that kill. Now, Aurora heads down. You can see, I know Aurora's here, guys. So, I'm going to go ahead and try to get as much poke as I can on her. Even though I do not have my ultimate anymore, you know, we might be able to get some damage done to her. And, you know, I'm waiting for that ultimate, and sure enough, she's able to hit that ultimate. I just stay under tower, you know, I wasn't too terribly concerned about it. And I'm going to go ahead and mark her with the Nameless Curse. Now, this is going to force her to back. She can no longer engage. Should have used Nameless Curse a lot earlier. I don't use this card a whole lot, so, you know, that was a bad choice on my part. Should have definitely used Nameless Curse towards the beginning of that fight, so she wouldn't have been able to stay under tower at all. But we forced her ultimate out, and that's great. Now, unfortunately, Chimera stayed in, and, you know, Spare showed up and was just able to delete him. You know, it feels bad, man, but, hey, we got that T1 mid. You know, we're finally making some progress in this tower game, and, you know, we're on an even playing field with the enemies, which that's absolutely huge. And my duo lane was able to take out their tower as well, so we're making some pretty solid progress. Now, I go ahead and throw on my Invader Mage, so I'm going to start hurting, guys. And we're going to head over. You know, Sparrow does come in, try to challenge a little bit. We're able to poke her. But FaZe and Sparrow end up kind of linking up together here in this mid lane, and we're just going to kind of wait. Now, again, guys, I hurt. So, Sparrow comes in and challenges, and you can see, you know, she was not able to farm as much as I was, and we just elite her, guys. And then we're able to pick up that FaZe kill as well. You know, they really should not have challenged me at that point. For one thing, I'm Morigesh, baby. You know, like, I'm gonna hurt. But on top of that, you know, the way they challenged, where both of them ran up together, they both got out of position. FaZe should have definitely stayed back and let Sparrow, you know, kind of run up there. And then FaZe could have saved her once she saw that, hey, you know, I'm hitting hard. But with Nameless Curse, with my Hive, with my Mark, you know, and then I ult, you know, she's a goner. So, I don't know, I think having that rotating ADC probably hurts the team more than helps. So, if that's something that y'all have been trying, I mean, you can see by not farming near as well by playing that ADC, you know, they're at a big disadvantage. Now, we do collapse here in Raptors, and, you know, the team shows up, and with Steel, yeah, Steel's got just such a good engage. And you can see that this is where I'm talking about. We're going in on this rampage. Everybody's hitting him with everything we got, and he's just soaking it up, guys. But, hey, we end up taking him out, and then we're going to end up taking out FaZe as well. Now, FaZe hasn't had just the biggest impact this match, yeah, as far as it being in my lane, but we definitely want to shut FaZe down. You know, FaZe can save people and, you know, turn one, you know, she can flip a fight with that ultimate if she's linked to the right person. So, anytime you can take her out, go for it. Now, this is the power of that Nameless Curse, guys. If you saw, I marked Sparrow, hit her with my Nameless Curse, and then I ult her once she gets a little low, and we're able to take her out. You know, barely any mana there, you know, just Nameless Curse, a mark, and boom, she's dead. So, Nameless Curse is really like having a really, really strong Hive. You know, it's almost double the damage of Hive in the end, and it's so good on Morigesh. And I really feel, since you can't do that dip in, dip out, run around ability near as much as you used to be able to, I really feel that this is a solid build for her. Now, with having our lanes pushed the way they are, and, you know, us getting those couple of kills there, the enemy team is going to have to deal with our lanes, and that frees us up to take Prime fairly easily. Now, Chimera does head to mid. You know, he might have engaged a little bit too early on that, but we are able to take Sparrow out, and then, you know, I'm going to go ahead and ult this Gideon, make sure we get him out of that fight. You know, it is unfortunate that, you know, he actually got his entire ult off, but is what it is. Now, I saw Aurora jump in, so, you know, I dipped out, and I avoided a lot of that. You know, our team went in with Prime, and we just kind of went into a sloppy engagement there. And you can see my entire team, you know, or 3 of my teammates lost our Prime buff right there, when, you know, we shouldn't have lost that fight at all, not with Prime, but, you know, is what it is. Now, I'm trying my best to ping retreat to our Sevarog, but, you know, I think he's bloodthirsty. I think he wants to take advantage of having Prime, and he gets collapsed on, but he does end up taking that T2, which, you know, hey, that's nice. But, you know, with 3 heroes down, you know, I think it would have been better to head back, and we can make a push elsewhere, but that's quite all right. Now, I wasn't going to head over to help Sevarog out, because me heading over there would just get us both killed. And I have Prime. I still have Prime, guys. So, you know, as of right now, I'm the only person with it, and I need to take advantage of it if we can. And really going to help out a teammate that's, pushed up like that, there's going to be a 4-man rotation to, that's just asking to get yourself killed. And, that's one of those calls. I try to make good calls when I'm playing with people, but running in like that would have definitely been a bad call. Now, the enemy team was collapsing on Raptor, so we're all going to head over there, and the Steel Old guys, the Steel Old, yeah, we're able to take them out. We go ahead and just delete this phase again, and we're able to really just kind of take care of their entire team. There's Sparrow, Gideon, and, Rampage is here, and you can see Rampage is healing through all of this, guys, but really there's no need to deal with Rampage. Let's go ahead, head back, pick up Fang. Before the enemy team spawns in, there is an Aurora, so we have to be aware of that. But we should be able to finish Fang off before we get some rotation. And even if we do get some rotation, hopefully we can deal with her. Now, we do end up securing this Fang, so, hey, great. It's pretty uncontested. There's not a whole lot a ultable Rampage can do. Once Rampage uses his ult, he doesn't offer a whole lot. So, since he used it earlier, we weren't too scared of him. We did have to be aware of Aurora, but hey, no problem. Now, our Chimera did go in on Gideon. We're able to use our run fast, catch up to him, and then, kind of get this lane set in the right direction. And now all the enemies disappeared. We now have vision on Rampage and FaZe, but I want to get out. Aurora and Sparrow are somewhere. They're not in the solo lane, so they might be in the mid lane. And I want to dip out. Make sure we stay safe. Our Chimera runs through the jungle, and he actually gets collapsed on by the Sparrow and that FaZe. So, hey, we need to head over there, and we want to help out, but we definitely need to be careful. And, we're just not able to save him. And, again, guys, dip out. This is one of the things when you rotate to help out. If you cannot help, get out, guys. And sure enough, that's what we do. Now, I'm going to just hang out under my mid tower, just kind of wait for this lane to push. Again, we have Sparrow and FaZe here, and Sparrow pushes up, so we're going to go ahead and start punishing her. I know my team's heading over. Sure enough, Steel's here. We're able to take that Sparrow out, and you see FaZe is just boogieing. Like, she's gone. So, hey, but we're doing a pretty good job of shutting down their ADC, and, that's huge. Now, their Rampage is in our solo lane, so I'm going to head over there. I hit him with that Nameless Curse, and I'm able to, go in on him. With our Sevarog being here, we should be able to take him out. Now, you see, I'm not spending just an entire lot of mana on him right now, just because we just have to outlast his ultimate. And once his ultimate is gone, hey, then we can start using mana. And with the team collapse that we have, he's not going anywhere. And sure enough, we're able to take him out and then head back to our mid lane. Now, our Chimera is in mid facing off against this combo of FaZe and Aurora, and, he's getting hurt, guys. Unfortunately, we're not able to save him, but we do take out Aurora, and, hey, we force that ultimate out, and, she used that to try to save her life instead of actually trying to get kills, which, hey, that's great. Now, from here, I'm going to go ahead and back. Now, Murdoch did drop from comms shortly after this match started, so that's one reason he hasn't had a whole lot of presence during these fights, but, hey, is what it is. Now, I do go ahead and chase down this FaZe, and I'm trying to get that Nameless Curse on her, guys. And I finally do at the end, but, hey, I didn't even need to waste it. Did you see how much damage that Mark did? Guys, Power Tap. Oh, Power Tap's awesome. Which, that's one thing I'm using in this build. I've just gone 3 Vitality, 25 Intellect, and then I'm just going to Power Tap from now on. Instead of building into other cards, building into that Shadow Dancer or anything like that. I just want to try this out. Like I said, I've kind of played the same deck just over and over, it seems. So I just wanted to, try something new. Now, I really want to push an inhib. We've been getting some great team kills, things like that, but we haven't been making a whole lot of progress. So I went and, chased after this tower. I went and tried to get the minion wave before our minion wave caught up. That way it was just freely walk into tower, but we're not going to be able to do anything. With an Aurora here and with that Rampage, it's going to be tough, but we might be able to force out some ultimates, and so, you know, hey, that's really what I'm trying to do, and I might be able to stick around long enough for my ultimate to come back online and, you know, go ahead and actually take out Aurora. I just gave it the good old try just to see, hey, maybe we could, and sure enough, you know, power tap, baby, we're able to take her out, and that's huge. From here, me and Arrg, we're making some pretty good progress on this tower, but, you know, we got to get out. With that phase hitting that ultimate, you know, it's time to run. I go ahead and run a different direction so phase can only lance one hero, and, you know, hey, we're going to get out. We did force out that Rampage ultimate and that phase ultimate, so we wasted some pretty good tools there, which is absolutely amazing, and this is going to allow me to run through the jungle, circle around, and then, you know, come in from behind them where, you know, they're really not expecting me. And, you know, sure enough, we're able to take out phase and Rampage. You know, we get another great 3-person kill, and from here, we just need to start playing objectives, pushing these objectives. We've got Steel in our mid lane, you know, creating a ton of pressure, and this is what we want, guys. This was the play we were waiting for. Taking these 3 heroes down, you can see where we're going to just be able to absolutely steamroll at this point. Now, Gideon does head in, and he gets a great ult. You know, there's like 4 or 5 of us. You know, that was an awesome ult, but, you know, it's a little too late, and we are able to take out the tower, and then we're going to take out Sparrow, you know, and I ran into that other idiot thinking it was down. They still even have a T2 up. Oh, terrible, guys. But I'm going to head to mid lane and hopefully get this lane pushing in the right direction. My team's staying engaged on Aurora, which, you know, Aurora came in to try to make something happen, which, you know, that was a bad call on her part. Going into, you know, a 4-man team, really, you know, as Aurora, you might be able to free somebody, but you're gonna be punished. And sure enough, she was. Now this is going to allow me to again push into this mid lane, and we're able to take down this T2, you know, completely uncontested. Their phase did show up, but guys, phase is not a threat really, you know, unless she has somebody with her. And right now, being hooked to Rampage, you know, that could hurt, but hey, I'm not too concerned about it. They've got to deal with the core anyways, and we're able to absolutely capitalize on this and end up taking down 2 inhibs, you know, a T2, and we got a team wipe. You know, that was huge play, guys. Now, after we down that inhib, we all should have turned and ran. But, you know, you see our team, we're all staying in, which, you know, that is a bit of an issue. And, you know, I'm trying to focus that Rampage because, you know, even though Rampage did just use his ult, he's still a threat and we could take him down. But, you know, we really should just leave that situation. Now, I thought I had their phase marked, and I had Rampage marked, and, you know, it did nothing to Rampage. I really thought that phase was ulted there, or marked there, but hey, no problem. We kind of wasted that, and, you know, we turned that great play into something that, you know, it's not quite as great. This does allow me to back up and throw on 2 more power taps, and that, you know, put that Atomic Soldier back on. So we've got 3 total power taps, and we're hitting hard, guys. But, you know, again, we lost 2 people in that engagement. When we should have just backed up, we could have gone for Prime, something like that. You know, it just wasn't the best option. But, hey, no problem. We're going to keep on pushing. Now, since I did throw on my next power tap, you know, hey, I got to go try out my powers. And we're going to go ahead and just jump into this Raptor pit. And, you know, Sparrow is here, and, you know, as long as we're getting that line of sight from her, we're able to avoid a lot of that damage. Sure enough, we're able to take Sparrow out, no problem. Gideon does show up, and, you know, hey, that's a great ult, but, you know, we're able to hit him with that Mark Curse before we end up going down and steal ults and, you know, 2-shots him. So we get a great 4-man kill right there. You know, I do go down, but, you know, that's great, guys. Now, while I was dead, my team managed to pick up Prime and take down that 3rd inhib, so, you know, it really is, you know, it's GG at this point. And we're just continuing to keep the enemy team on these staggered deaths, and, you know, that's really what did it for us, guys. Keeping the team on staggered deaths is huge, and you can see again, you know, we're making some pretty decent plays here at the core. But, you know, really, guys, well, it's once you get to this point, you know, it's going to be GG. And sure enough, we wrap this match up. Now, the changes to Morigesh, you can definitely feel them once again. That, you know, they definitely changed her, and having that early game movement speed slow definitely changes how you should play her. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for my Morigesh guide. I hope y'all enjoyed, and if you did, show me some love. Leave me a comment, think about subscribing, join our Discord if you haven't done it. I'd love to play with some of y'all. We've got some cool things coming up, so definitely check it out, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.